They many times you're gonna see, especially the heavy guys, they like to step to really drive the weight on you. Does that make sense? To make you feel the pressure and start to collapse your leg down. Does that make sense? So when they step, a big mistake on your mobility from the bottom is start to shrink your body to get on the leg. Does that make sense? When you do that, it's easy to collapse your leg down, to block the head and smash you on the bottom. And I'm sure how often this happens with you guys when doing the shoot? Many times. Does that make sense? So, if you want to get access of the leg, and you should, if you have the opportunity, make sure you keep your shoulder strong. How this is too strong? You keep your back straight, and you talk about open and close the angle, right? So he'll start to close the angle, but the back is still straight. He's also move the hips. Does that make sense? If he just move the shoulders, he'll start to fold the body. Does that make sense? So when he's doing that, straight your back, be on your shoulder, just on your shoulder. He's gonna move shoulder and hip, shoulder, hip. Does that make sense? So if I try to smash him, what is his main thing? Is don't let me to control what? The top body. He doesn't want me to smash as a heavy person be on top of you. Can I assess his top body right now? Can I put my weight on him right now? Yes or no? No. He still have that. He's controlling, his scoop underneath. If I try to drive my weight on him, extend your knees, extend your body. Did he defend himself about any pressure or punch, for example? Can you think about punch just to make sure you are doing a good job to protect yourself here? That makes sense? Or even if you bring that to your sports side, can I have a good control of his head, shoulders? Can I underhook him? Can I smash him from here? Yes or no? No. So he's doing a good job from the bottom. Does that make sense? So sometimes it's not how advanced is your mechanic. It's just a simple way to move. It's going to change your game from the bottom. Does that make sense? Switch with me, please. So when you on bottle here, and you are doing the work here really well, he steps to make this even more pressure on you. If I just shrink, he's blocking my head, he's smashing my knee down. Does that make sense? But if you think about shoulder and hips, and start to assess it, you see how I maintain the person away from me. This shield is still working really well. Does that make sense? I don't need to breathe. My palm hands will face to my body at the end. I start to scoop underneath, and this pressure is still. That makes sense? For a whole like the X guy, for example, now is my moment to assess the hook. Does that make sense? I still scoop underneath. Rotation. Rotation. We talked about that before. I can X guard. I can go on the top like a single X control. Even if I just switching his leg to the other side, control the belt. I can think about start to assess the back. Does that make sense? Am I doing any mobility? It's too complicated for you guys to do. I think a 7-year-old guy can do that, right? What are we doing here? I'm on my bed, sleeping, 70 years old. When you sleep, a 70-year-old guy can do that, switch side. If you're 70 years old, you cannot write your shoes, you cannot tie your shoes like that, right? You need to go like an old man. Oh my God, I'm gonna tie my shoes. Does that make sense? And you want to keep that back straight. Does that make sense? Is this mobility that any person can do, right? I move towards the person without break the alignment on my back, and I just rotate. I scoop underneath and I rotate to the other side. Does that make sense? So we're gonna drill that, and on your drill, I don't want you to do any speed because I want to make sure when you start to drill that, you can block a heavy person full time in your mobility. Does that make sense? So he will be here, he step to make that heavy. I want to make sure still check your knee all the time. Does that make sense? If you are curving, that's what happens. So check, look, I move my shoulder, I move my hips. I'm checking, it's still there, it's still there, it's still there. I'm screwed. That makes sense? If I just move his leg to the other side, and I want to keep my rotation, look, I keep my rotation. I scissor on the knee, I attach my body, control the hip. It's just rotation. Look, I start to face my belly down and I engage my hip and chest. Does that make sense? It's nothing fancy, but it's work. That makes sense? Let's drill that. 1, 2, 3.